And greetings everybody, welcome back to Rebuilding the Commonwealth with myself. Here we are back in Jamaica Plains. I see the last urban revival here went down a treat with you guys, which I'm very happy to hear. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, really helps me out. Everything you put down there helps me. Won't bore you with the rest because I'm sure you've heard it from every other YouTuber. But this place is really taking shape. We have our little market street, we've got our food supplies, which is going to need bolstering soon because this place is getting very popular. As you can see, everyone's currently chilling in the diner, or out of the diner. Excuse me, let me just sleep to the morning here. Let's do 8 hours. Get our good 8 hours sleep. Got myself a drink right here. Hello. Wow. Well, this is like the worst night terror in the world. Thanks, I guess. Thanks very much for dropping in. Wow. Damn. Cheers. Okay. And that goes away. Okay. So up here on the top area, we have the house with the garage. I have rotated it from there to there. The garage, unfortunately, I could not get it to take. I couldn't get it to work properly. So I've replaced it simply with an add-on room. But all of the original structure is still here, minus the roof, because the roof was a broken tile set. So I've replaced it with a better tile set. I'm not keen on how this looks, but I can sort it out. So we're basically building the most bog standard house ever here, which is fine because that is exactly what we want. We want houses which look nice, but they're functional, they work. And to be fair, we do need some bog standard property. So we're just going to simply bolt on the upper floor here and the additional add-on room here to make a very quick build. Ooh. There we go. Just had it the wrong way around. And of course we'll need a connector to hold them together. Excellent. Now you do get a few graphic tearings here, which I'm hoping will cover up as we build. But it's just where the old building used to stand. You get a few graphical glitches if you stand where the broken floor was, that kind of stuff. So we're going to put some flooring in. We will need a couple of full floorings here. Like that. And we'll probably need a small... Can we get a smaller one up here? I don't actually think we can, I'll be honest with you. We'll have to have it overlap slightly, which isn't a problem. Okay. 100, we'll do the 0.01 trick to cover that. I mean, you literally cannot tell there, so that's kind of the idea. So we have 4 windows up here, 4 windows in this section here, which is grand. I don't want too many windows, I'll be honest with you, because, you know, if you're sleeping up here, you kind of want a bit of privacy. The question is, do we have any of this green wallpapered stuff? I'm inclined to say no. I mean, all we've got is this yellow wallpaper, which is ugly when it's compared with this anyway. Yeah, the only stuff we have are those, which makes no sense. I mean, we could put a bay window up here. Yeah, a bay window actually adds a good bit of variety, so let's do that. Now the wood posts down there are white, so we'll put in a white wood bay window. The lamppost is just about within range, which is fine. This side, well, we can just add a single wall there, but I don't want wallpaper that side. I just want a standard wall, like so. Yeah, that was the incorrect size just there, so yeah, that's fine. So we have another home here. Take a sip of drink. I'm not going to let my throat go dry this time. Right, now we want to go to the add-ons. Now I'm going to take this away because I think it would be cool to add a little path or sidewalk round to the back of the house. We can move this out of the way. Now, landscaping here will make a flat sidewalk. Yes, we're going to make a sidewalk that goes round the back like this. So you can go round to the back garden. I am going to build another property here. But we want to decorate this. We want to make it look really nice as you come round the back. What better way than to keep up that tradition of planters? Of course. Now these are low enough not to interfere with the house, which is good. I'm going to shuffle these across. That's it. So that matches perfectly there. The discrepancy is barely noticeable. And now we'll snap another one here to create that corner. Nice one. And now we simply put a piece of park slope in here. I don't think this is going to snap the correct way, and I don't have a way to brute force it. No, I don't have a way of brute forcing this. It's such a small area. Okay. I mean, that's okay. That will do fine. Back to sidewalk flat. Put one there. And one here to go out to the back gardens. This will need to be done up with grass. Of course, it's going to be just a little bit too much, isn't it? The grass doesn't show in there, which is fine. If I move this back, how high do I have to make it to cover all that? Too high, I think, is the term I'm looking for. If I bring it that high, the grass doesn't show, which is good. We'll bring the grass around the front so it connects with the front here. Oh, that looks kind of awful. I mean, a little bit of dirt poking through is fine. But the main reason I want this is because under resources, we can make these garden plots, you see? And this is going to contribute to the food supplies in the settlement. Because as you know, we're still a little bit under supply. And having a few of these will be handy. And of course, what use is this unless you have a water pump for it all? Plus that adds a bit more water to the settlement as well. Great. Now we will go back to surface lock for this. And I think some moot fruit wouldn't go amiss out the back here. So someone having their own little garden isn't unrealistic. They don't have a greenhouse, but they do have a little garden. Little home garden. Excellent. Now the question is, how many people will this house? Let's move that along by 10. Just move that just so the flowers aren't poking through the wall. Perfect. Okay. So how many people should this sleep? Because I'm thinking 4 could quite easily share this house. I mean, they've got a downstairs, they've got a living room and a garden and everything like that. So I don't think it's unreasonable to have a house for 4 here. Plus, we're making good use of the space. So we're going to put in 2 beds. Three beds and 4 beds. Now, of course, they're not occupied because we already had enough beds in the first place. Admittedly, some of them are actually in the middle of broken down houses and stuff. So technically, they don't really have a good bed. At least not yet, anyway. Now, this is more of a home setting. So we're not going to go nuts. We're going to be nice with this. Also, under snappy builds, back under the small town kit. That's it, small town. We need roofs. Now I forget what part has to be used for this, because I'm pretty sure it ain't that. Unless that's a flat roof. I forget. No, that is way too big. I mean, that's about the right size, but... Nah, we won't do that. No, I don't think we got any roofs there. Oh, hang on, I think it's this. Whoa. Yeah, it's that. That doesn't really make too much sense, to be honest. It doesn't quite match up. Which is unfortunate, to be honest. Unless I'm missing something here. Oh, of course, there's an add-on room piece. Yeah, add-on room. That is tiled roof. That's also tiled roof. So that roof pitch comes straight in. So does this, is this actually fitting for this? I mean, you can't see it from the inside. It's hollow. It doesn't render. No, that is the wrong roof type. That's the wrong roof type. Okay, so the tiles on this don't actually match. I mean, obviously that does, because it's the same one. Unless I put brick on it, which wouldn't match. That is metal. I'm really not sure I'm following with this. Okay. We'll just have to lump it. Actually, that works, you know. That's fine. I can actually live with that. Not a problem at all. Okay, I think this roof trim. This trim has to have like an end cap, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Okay. Can we put an end cap on here? Does it snap? No. Alright, manual it is. We'll do it manually, okay? I've just got a couple of new subscribers come in while I'm recording, actually. Welcome to Benjamin. Thank you very much for subscribing. And thank you, Naomi Droxer. Thanks for your comment as well. See you guys. I'm on the ball. Never miss a trick. Oops. At least I try not to. Cool. Is an end cap. And we need another end cap just here. Turn off surface snapping. Thank you to a commenter who drew attention to that feature, because although I still hate the snapping function, it does make my life a hell of a lot easier. Nope, put that down. That's what you want to use. That's too high. So bring that down to there. Cool, and that is the left cap. Yeah, so that fits. This should fit. No, it's got to be like that. That's fine. Excellent. Right, so that will obviously look dumb from in here. But the roof, don't want that. We do have these trusses, I think, which will go in here and just give it a finish. In some ways, it's kind of dumb why I'm doing that, but because we're going to cover it up. Just making sure that the seams are not visible from the other side. Excellent. Okay, so we have a lot of this made up here. We'll put surface snap back on while we furnish this place. So this person will have a dresser. Do we have any proper, like, good-looking wardrobes? Because we have this bureau, but the bureau looks kind of ugly. Take a drink. Lovely jubbly. Now, if you're going to be sitting in the little bay window, it stands to reason you'd have a very nice seat. I'm just looking for one that doesn't look beat up, is what that is. These egg chairs actually look pretty nice. Nice. Now I want a little table for the middle. Nice. Starting to sound like Michael Rosen, that. Nice. Rate my Michael Rosen impression. Of course, being settlers, they'd all have sourced their own kind of end tables and stuff, so they won't all be perfect. Some of them will have better cabinets than others, so that's why I'm not fussed about having them looking a bit different. Floor coverings. A little mat by the bed. You guys will have a couple of different looking rugs on this side. Wall decorations. Well, if you don't have a Minuteman flag, are you even, representing? I mean, this place is patriotic. This is one of the Minutemen's, crowns, this is. What do they call it? Magnum opus? I mean, now that they have the castle, this is one of the best settlements they've put up so far. All in the name of the Minutemen. I'm sure Preston Garvey would be very proud. He should be. He hasn't done anything at all, the lazy bastard. I'd like to see him try and rebuild an entire world by himself. Because he certainly wouldn't. Okay. I don't want to put in just the hanging light bulbs. I want a bit of variety in how this place is lit up. So similar to how we did the bus, we're going to use those. Yeah, perfect. We're also going to use further curtains to obscure this place from the exterior. Be fair, if I was going to live in this settlement, this house and the one I'm going to build next to it would probably be my prime picks, because at the end of the day, you're going to be fine here. Who is going to raid this place? You've got an entire rock wall next to you. You've got Minutemen down the street. You're probably going to have Minutemen outside your house. I would love to live in this one. Another drink. Yeah, I would absolutely love to live in one of these if the world, inexplicably ended via nuclear fire. Well, hey, the situation out in Europe at the moment is, I'm not going to even joke about that. Oh. So, you can have these. Yeah, so these curtains won't be drawn yet. These ones will be. Cool. There is actually one thing I noticed here which will give it a little bit of flavour as well. Sorry if you keep hearing that noise, by the way. I left my Steam notifications on. So, on the add-ons... is it under add-ons? Oh, I saw it right before I started recording. Now I've missed where it is. You can put a carport on. You know what? That's not actually a bad shout. I'll think about that for the next house. No, it's not under that. No, it's not going to be under trims either. Oh, where did you go? I'll look for it later. I might do it off camera if I find it. I had window shutters. Some of these don't have window shutters. I could put the window shutters on and it looks fine. Okay. I mean, the bedroom for me is the most important for these settlers. They need a decent place to sleep. And I mean, this is looking quite comfortable. Decorations. Also, in case any of you are wondering, I have actually kept a spreadsheet that has the hierarchy, the ranking structure for the Minutemen, and I've categorised every Minuteman we've ever named so far and put them in a rank with a commanding officer who they answer to. So when I give people ranks, I'm not just giving them it because it sounds alright. I'm giving it to them because I actually have a plan in mind for how they're going to fit into the structure. So, just in case any of you are wondering, I don't just do it, for the shiggles, as it were. I do properly think about it. Another quick sip. Cheers. Right. Do like how that is glitching ever so slightly, but nothing we can do about that. Yeah, this looks quite cozy. I feel like if you came up here and pulled the curtains, you'd feel safe. You'd like living here. I mean, I'm sure I certainly would. And of course, what is a place without a potted plant? Nice. As well, up here, we're going to put in probably I'm going to put in a bookshelf. You know, you want to come and read? Well, it's right here. There would be a fair bit of storage on the shelf as well as their books. And if they're gardening, it stands to reason they would have some additional gardening stuff on the top. I really should put a railing across the top here to stop people just collapsing onto the stairs. Should really, shouldn't I? Ooh. Let's just push this back into place like that. Excellent. Good stuff. So now you're not going to collapse down the stairs and break your neck if you get out of bed a little bit inebriated, which I'm sure we've all done. Or at least the majority of my viewers, hopefully of the correct age for alcohol consumption. We are being attacked. Let's go and help my people. I wonder what's attacking this time. Oh, really? One enemy. What a waste of my fucking time. Yeah, from the outside here, this looks quite nice. Looks a little bit tucked out of the way. Nice quiet little retreat from civilization. Good place to come and retire home to. I'll do the downstairs in a minute. Let's get the other house locked in before we start messing with it too much. Now, I'm in two minds as to whether I should just put down a prefab house, which, granted, would be fine, but they're super wonky. They look kind of shoddy, some of these. I mean, this is a row of houses, and it does look a tad shoddy, not going to lie to you. I mean, this one looks like it's falling down, all the windows are broken. This one looks the same. I mean, the porch is wonky. They all look like, I say pre-war houses, pre-war as in, I say post-war actually. Like, they look like they've been blown up, is, you know, the thing about it. This looks like it's been freshly rebuilt, which is the look we've been going for this whole time. Looking like it's been rebuilt. We can move this street light out the way. So I'm in two minds as to whether to do that, or under these buildings we do have the Dalton store, which I don't know about you, I think this looks really cool. I mean, it'll be a living space. And it could be a grocery store as well. And I remember a commenter, I've forgotten your name, I do apologise, but you mentioned actually building a grocery store for the settlers here, and I think this would look really good. Let me just move this stupid residential light out of here. How much space does this take up in the grand scheme? We've gone with blue because that's the same colour as the church. I mean, yeah, it's got this concrete base, but why did I just do that? It was almost perfect. Actually, let me line it up another way. Let me use the terrain kit again. Landscaping. We'll put in a T-junction sidewalk. Which is here. And then we'll put in a full-size one of those. Then we can snap the store to it like that. Now we'll line it up correctly. And then raise it. I think then under the kit here, I think this is going to have to be a manual job. Oh, no. Yeah, we can use this really nice basic steps extension to get up into the store. I mean, this will still be a living space. Somebody can still live here, the merchant. But we now actually have a store. And we're going to turn this into a grocery store. We need to give it a cool name as well. I can either put neon signs, or I can put in the little sticky sign, the things, and just increase the size. Give me a name for the store. The best ones I will take. The best ones out of it I'll take. Nice. So we have this little veranda out front. Cool. Now, we do the wallpapers snap? That's the question. No, they don't. I didn't expect they would, but that doesn't matter. We can still do something with this. Or can we? What is that snapping to? Okay, snapping to the back. Yeah, snapping to the back of those. That isn't what we want. We'll sort that out afterwards. Don't worry, we will sort that out. For now, we need doors to these. That doesn't fit the door frame. Oops. I mean, that looks kind of cool. Yeah. This modern front door will work for this as well. If we put it in that way, it should open inwards. Yes, it does. Excellent stuff. It's got the front doors. Now, excuse me. Right, so we don't have enough space here for any additional accommodation, like an outhouse or something like that at the back, which is fine. Good to know where we stand. So all of the living space must be in here. Now, under Homemaker, is it Homemaker or is it Do-It-Yourself? It's probably Do-It-Yourself. Now, post-war should have these big-ass yellow shelves. That's it. Grocery store shelves. We're going to put a few of these in for almost like aisles, as it were. Wonder who's going to be the lucky owner of this grocery store, eh? Okay, I don't think we can fit accommodation here, so I reckon this shop is going to have to be the person sleeping here is going to have to live in one of the nearby houses. Now I'm going to try a trick that I've seen somewhere else. Now this DIY counter, do we have a curved one? We have to have a curved one of those. Right, tell you what. I'm going to place 2 of these. Now this is where things will get a bit funky. I need to lay these flat on the ground at a 90-degree angle. Okay, this is going to be a bit trickier than I expected, but we're going to do it. Now we're going to tuck this flush against the wall, like so. Okay, I think that is as straight as we're going to get. Fantastic. Now, the issue I have is that these are made of wood. I want something that's made a bit more like metal. What does the back of this look like? You know what? That I don't hate that. That's post-war though. Do we have pre-war? Yes, we do. So if I use the white outer layer here in pre-war grey, So we're going to lay this down like so. I'm going to lay it down to 90 degrees. Am I aware there is a shortcut key for this? Yes, I am. Am I going to use it? Probably not. Maneuver this into place. Bit too much gas on the old left click. Okay, now we're going to put one more in this way. Okay, this is going to be a little bit trickier. I think I'm going to have to do it manually. The famous phrase. Now, can I rotate this 90 degrees? Yes, I can. Going to position this into the back like so. This also needs to be laid down flat. That's it. Now we edged this one back just enough. That needs to come forward just enough to stick through. But not enough to come through the countertop here. That's it. Now what do we have here? This is a freezer. You can get all your nice icicles and bags of ice for your barbecue and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it is coming close to barbecue season, so why not? So we want more post-war grocery store shelving. Does it matter that it's covering the window? Nope. No, it doesn't. Excellent. Now, under the shop stores, we want a trading emporium. Yes, they are. Well, they're supposed to be expensive. They're not really, to be honest. And I'm half tempted to put the Vault-Tec rep in here. You know, doing drinks in the trading emporium. Drinks and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't decided yet. I do apologise if you can hear disturbance in the background there. We're actually going through a massive storm at the moment, so yeah, you're probably hearing quite a bit of wind and all that on the window. Okay, so all the alcohol would be stored here. Okay, wow, these don't actually take. That's a bit annoying. Okay, so it doesn't take the small ones, but it does take the large ones. That's quite unusual, to be honest. But it isn't something we can't work with. So generally, you'll have an aisle for pre-packaged food. You'll have drinks, beer, all that kind of stuff, or your alcohol in one. So we'll have to put these down quite manually. I am going to intersperse these with my own stuff as well, don't worry. Okay, these are going to be a bit of a pain to put down, I can tell you that for nothing. Going to have to do very, very small movements to get these on. Obviously the bottom shelf here, that doesn't really matter too much. I mean, these guys are well stocked. We've been hunting the wastelands for years now. I mean, if you don't know, whenever I go to sleep, the date is pretty amazing. It must be said. I think the game starts 2287. I think it's 2291 at the moment. So my game-wise, 4 years that O'Banion has been, you know, rebuilding the Commonwealth. So General O'Banion. I mean, I'd laugh if this like got made into Fallout lore. I'd also be quite flattered if the Minutemen became the ruling power. But alas, I'm just a YouTuber. I don't have that kind of power. As cool as that would be. Right. You'll also have an aisle over here for fresh foods. To get all your fresh produce here. You have like a few baskets of odds and sods down here, which makes sense. Yeah, you've got your odds and stuff there. They're still stocking up. I'll put probably a shelf behind him. We need to get a villager for this place. So yeah, give me a name for this this store, guys, because this is pretty cool. So we're going to put in the open sign. Oh yeah, because we can put the neon out here, so we can literally make it anything. I mean, the General's store. I don't know, but that'd be kind of silly. This is going to be one of the big retail outlets, so I want something cool for this place. Now, under kitchen and dining, food. I'm pretty certain I picked up some packaged food, like ice cream and things like that. This is going to be quite difficult to put down manually, but this is going to be well worth the effort. What is that? Institute food packet. Okay. Filthy simps. Packaged Salisbury steak. You'd have steak in the freezer. You definitely have like joints of meat and all that in here. Those are way too big for this freezer though. So put some fresh meat here. I mean, food packaging went out of fashion about 200 years ago when loads of bombs mysteriously fell on the world. It seems to happen. Food standards and all. Those are, I think, iguana bits. Radstag meat. Stands to reason that'll be frozen too. I've got a use for that Mirelurk meat, so I'm not going to put that in there. I think we have some Nuka Cola, so this can be in a chilled section too. Oh, please tell me I picked up some Nuka Cola. I'm sure I picked up Nuka Cola. Really? I didn't? Oh, damn. Okay. Okay, I'll have to stock that up a little bit later. Let's go and find an unlucky victim, I mean settler, to be the shopkeeper there. Okay, who here hasn't got a job? I actually think I gave everybody here jobs, so joke's on me, right? Yeah, of course you've got one. A very important one, I might add. Okay, I'm going to have to attract some more settlers before I can finish this off. So, putting that to one side, let's see what this looks like from back here. Okay, so you can barely tell that that's a finished part of the settlement, which I don't like, to be honest. So let's give it some lights, so it has a lived-in kind of feel to it. I really like these cage wall lights for this type of building. Problem is, snapping to these posts is quite difficult. Fantastic. Okay. Fancy wall lights. A few of these will light up the outside quite nicely. Ooh. That doesn't look good, but I'll solve that another day. Out in the garden, you're going to want a few of these. I mean, you're going to want to be able to at least see what on earth is going on. Yeah, this place is notorious for its bad glitches. This could be like the glitch corner. Glitch corner of Jamaica Plains. Okay, and this place is not lit up enough at all. What does it look like if I hang these from the ceiling? Because this is a really high ceiling compared to a lot of the other settlements. I will light this up with some of these too. That just doesn't look bright enough though. It's also quite a dingy wall, so I want to put some wallpaper on here, but I think I'll do that off camera. track lights will keep this place nicely lit up. And this place here is still ever so slightly let down, but that's fine. You have a, I would say a corner shop, but it's not really a corner shop. It is a full-blown outlet, which needs a name. So yeah, get down in them comments. Give me your names. We'll see what we come out with. I quite like this corner. It looks kind of cozy. I can put a path down the back of the house here. Keep all the farming in check. Add a bit of food to the supplies. So I think that's where we're going to leave this one, actually. I mean, that needs a bit of light out front, but I can mess with that off camera. I can get something cool to put out front. But this corner looks a bit more patriotic. It looks a bit more revived. It looks more lived in. Exactly the kind of presentation we're going for. Oh, this place is starting to look so glorious, isn't it? Oh, so yeah, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much. I really appreciate all the support you guys give me. Every like, every comment is another step towards that YouTube algorithm. And another smile on my face. So keep at it, guys. I really appreciate the support. I'm going to lay a few foundations off camera, so we'll probably be able to do quite a big build in the next one. But until then, stay safe. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy.